Hello, good evening, televiewers. You are welcome to this other edition of Prime on My Media Prime, the last for this week, Friday, the 24th of June 2022, a program wherein we are going to be looking at two topics. One, assessing the effectiveness and the real impact of our respective ministries in Cameroon. We are also asking the question whether we need more than 30 of them to serve Cameroonians effectively. If time permits, we also are going to be looking at the second topic, looking at our regional councils and assemblies that have been in existence for 2 years now. Do these regions, the littoral, the western, northwest, southwest regions, today have more powers, today enjoy more powers today because of the coming into place of the regional assemblies. We now know that each region has a president. What have they been doing? Do the people even know who these presidents are and what is expected of them? We are discussing on these two topics with our panelists who are in the house already. Dr. Ako John Ako is in the house with us. Good evening, Doctor. We're glad to have you.
Yeah, the pleasure is mine. Once more again, talking Cameroon. It is greatly very, very, very sad. We want to tell Cameroonians and the world at large that Cameroon is going through a very hard time. The crisis, a high food crisis. In fact, some people are unable to eat on the streets of the major cities in Douala and Yaoundé. And again, coming to Cameroon, it is but that we have suffered bad governance since the New Deal government took over in 1982. The country was at peace before 1982. It is like a nightmare when Cameroonians celebrated that a young man of vibrant president took over leadership. Has that particular individual lived up to the taste to satisfy the wishes and caprices of Cameroonians? It is really sad that 40 years after, we are unable to look at who takes over after this particular gentleman. The Cameroon New Deal, what a deal, the wayward deal, which Cameroonians are still thinking that will continue to live like a thorn in their flesh.
Okay, we're also in the company of Robert Kedia Malangfe, representing the CPDM on this platform. Good evening, Robert, and welcome.
Good evening to you, sir. Good evening to all my co-panelists. Good evening to our viewers. Good evening to the entire My Media Prime institution for giving us this opportunity to come here every time to express our view on current issues happening in our nation. Special greetings to our brothers that are still in the bushes with arms, calling on them to drop their arms. Special greetings to members of parliament that are there in Yaoundé with their normal session. We plead that they look into burning things happening in the nation so that we can have peace, total 100% peace in the northwest and in the southwest region. Thank you.
We also are in the company of Mr. Njikang Moses. He is a member of Cameroon Civil Society. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Leo. Good evening, co-panelists. A special good evening to Professor Elvis Ngolengole. Professor Elvis Ngolengole is somebody I admire most because of his outspokenness, his courage. You know, I want to say good evening to viewers in Tombel.
Okay. And I add my voice to all of you watching us from Kupe Mwane Nguba, division of the southwest region of Cameroon. We also in the company of yes, we are in the company of
Prince Elvil Mukage.
the Prince. I've been looking for the best word to describe him. Judging from his outlook this evening, I was going to say Mola or how. Elvis, Prince, we're glad to have you.
Good evening to you, Leo. Good evening to co-panelists. Good evening to everybody who is watching My Media Prime now. And it's always a privilege to be on board. Special good evening to the newest of Deputy Vice Chancellor.
Okay.
That's Professor Kingsley Leongalangange, whom I'm sure you should be watching the program. And to the peace-loving people of Mukage subdivision, which is a land of milk and honey. It's a privilege for you to have me. That I mean, you said.
Are you coming from Sodiko village, so you went to one of these villages to get some Some ancestral blessings, the way you look this evening.
And I think it's going to be like this henceforth, Mr. Leo, because at one time you want to look like where you come from, because one thing is that we are all Africans, and we should always be proud, like Witty Minstrel, the guy from Bansa puts it, that at times you want to be proud of your country, and you want to be proud of where you're coming from.
Okay, to say that I like the attire.
Thank you.
Yes, I was looking for the best ways of describing them, but I'll start with you, Dr. Ako John Ako. We are looking at our regions. We know that the Northwest and Southwest region today enjoy a special status, but in the other regions in Cameroon, we know that there are regional councils that are existing. What has actually changed since the advent of these councils and assemblies?
Generally, nothing has changed. We may say, those who are in academics will tell you that something has changed because we have moved from the power at the center to the powers at the level of the region, which invoked the spirit of decentralization, and that if power has to exist, there should be that distribution of power from the central administration to the grassroots. And then those who are the grassroots should be more important. In fact, they should be more involved in decision taking. But what we have seen and realized is that they were just organs created to act as puppets for the central administration. A lot of those who are elected don't even know what they are supposed to do, don't even know what is reserved for them, and that the law that even authorizes them to exist really failed even to grant them the autonomy. The others are looking that those authorities that were not voted, when were they fixed to leave, and when are they going to leave? Are they going to leave so soon, or as they say in Cameroon, that things will be put on in a gradual manner? That gradual manner can take us centuries, as we have seen with very constitution of the nation since 1996. A lot of dispositions that have been taken down in that particular constitution have never seen the light of the day. And again, when we talk of, some people call it a special status, and people ask what makes it special against other parts of the region. It would have been special, like we said in the past, that the governor was to leave, the SDOs were to leave, the DOs were to leave, and that the regional president was to act as the greatest power of that particular region. The regional assembly were to equally carry out their function properly. But today we still find the governors, we still find the SDOs, and a lot of protocols surrounding them. In fact, those who call them regional assembly president simply seemed not to exist. Their voices are not even heard. And it happens, the worst of it is that what we talk of, political autonomy, yes, they were voted, financial autonomy, still leave a thorn in the flesh of many of those we call regional representative, in that Yaoundé still make the decisions and even call and prepare budget from Yaoundé for regional representative to vote. It is really a question that does regionalization really answer the worry for Cameroonians? Are we really afraid of something we had abolished some time ago? A lot of us have never been for what they call regionalization or decentralization, which we don't even master and we are not even willing to give over. It's a central administration prepared and willing to give over power to regional assemblies and councils to carry out the activities effectively. The question will be negative, because when we look at it, I said it is 2 years now, budget is still being drafted from Yaoundé. A lot of authorization, schools still function with autonomy from Yaoundé. We needed regional secretaries for education. There are a lot of other things which I believe that by the end of the program, we are going to see that the willingness of those who hold power in Cameroon, those who are in Yaoundé, is that they keep on making the propaganda, gaining time, and kept on peeling and stealing from the state they are thinking they represent. A lot of techniques and administrative propaganda in Cameroon was just meant to glorify the king, to glorify the sovereign, and tell him that we are working for him. And you can see it clearly. We have every decision now, all of us, everybody is working on high instruction, and which means that when instructions don't come, nothing will go. This is the weaknesses of what we call absolute power. And that we said when power is absolute, then it corrupts absolutely.
Okay, it corrupts absolutely. Robert, I don't know whether you share the same opinion with Dr. Ako John Ako, but what is the reading you have for the regional council since they were created?
For 2 years since it had been created, it is progressing, and they also have their impact and their achievement.
Okay.
It would be a bias, it would be a disgrace to us to come here and say nothing. The problem is, we can say maybe they are not up to standard. I will accept with that analysis, but to say totally that they have done nothing like nothing, then it definitely shows that there is a bias in that analysis, because everything will definitely have its positive and its negative side. So to say that they have actually done nothing, then there is a bias in that analysis. And before I come to analyze their progress, I would like to let Cameroonians know that the crisis is still going on. Yes, there are still guys with arms. That I will not come here and tell a lie. So I want Cameroonians to know that those that are saying that decentralization have failed, they should know that even if it was federalism, they will definitely say federalism have failed, because separatists are there, that they don't have the views of those that are interested in regionalism and the view of those that are interested in federalism. Now, I'll give you an example. The regional president, the chief of Mbambalang, who had the regional assembly in the northwest region, was kidnapped, and it's over 100 and something days by separatists. And if we come here, we analyze and say it's a total failure, then we are not being honest to say the part that those that think that separation is the best objective are creating a standing block for the progress of this regional house. Secondly, also, another aspect, let me give also the weaknesses, because as an analyst, I believe in giving the weaknesses and giving the successes. At the level also of the successes, I appreciate the regional president of the Southwest region, Chief Ebako, that came out one time to be honest that
Southwest House of Chiefs.
Yes, he was out to say that yes, they have given them the powers, they are there, but they are having shortage with resources, which is not coming out in full. So have their analysis and their own points that actually they have given to say it's a weakness. However, many things have changed thanks to this special status. And even one of the aspects that many people have complained to Yaoundé, this regional house, is that most of these deals and SDOs are francophone, and it is constituting a problem because these SDOs and deals don't understand how their culture and everything function in the Anglo-Saxon system and in the Northwest and in the Southwest region. But we will be hypocritic today if we are not honest to say that more than 70% of the Jews in the Northwest and Southwest are not Anglophones. They are. Even Ngokutunja, where I come from, the SDO is from there. They take SDOs that are Anglophone, they send them in different areas, but majority of the DOs are Anglophones, and majority of the SDOs are Anglophone. Anyone watching, you can do your analysis, and you are free to send a message to Mr. Liu to tell us if what I'm saying is fake. But majority, more than 70% of the DOs are Anglophones and the SDOs in the Northwest and in the Southwest region, which is one of the plight of the people which these regional houses have taken into consideration. Now, another aspect which the regional house were supposed to look into is the aspect of teachers, which was one of the complaints of the people, that we have teachers that are francophones in the Anglophone area, and it is constituting a problem. One of the example was a teacher that was teaching chemistry that was posted in the Anglophone zone, and he went at the blackboard and wrote chimie, and the children thought it was a subtopic in chemistry, but unfortunately it was chemistry in French, and that's how the teacher wanted to teach. But if we do our research now, we will see that most of the teachers, thanks to the present minister of secondary education, with collaboration with the regional houses, have ensured that most of the teachers that are Anglophones are being sent back to their various regions to ensure that the Anglo-Saxon system is progressive. So these are things, and as we go ahead, I'll give you the various facts, and which they are facts that I still tell my viewers that if you think anything I've said here is fake, you have the right to come, text, and decry it with facts. Okay.
Good evening to you, Ako Gerard, and to you, Maximilian Mark, Ciprano Njisem, Nungo Robinson, and to you, Kenneth King, Turi Tumenta, and to all of you watching us on our social media handle. We're glad to know that you are also debating at that level. Mr. Njikang, you saw this coming because we have been having this discussion here on the same platform even before the coming into force of the special status and what we have as regional councils today. You live in the littoral region. Do you have the feeling that the people in your quarter know that something exists as a regional council in the littoral region?
Mr. Leo, not at all. The former speaker has really tried his best to support something unsupportable because you can tell a blind man that there is oil in the soup, but you can't tell him whether there is salt. Nothing, I'm not mincing words, nothing has been put in place since the so-called, I call it so-called regional councils. This because the very reason for this council were or was not honest. The regional council now are being put in place because of the Anglophone problem. And since there is no goodwill policy to solve the Anglophone problem, the powers that be keep turning around, putting institutions for themselves and to help some unemployed people to make them have some money. The regional councils stems from, the spatial status. Now, to extend the tentacles of all this, that's why the other regions have been given the councils with the hope of solving the Anglophone problem. But the multi-dollar question here is, even the regional executive presidents, what have they done as far as the crisis in the Anglophone zone is concerned? Virtually nothing. I mean nothing, a blank nothing. If the regional councils and the special status were what the people wanted, then the crisis left and right would not have been existing. Even the Anglophone crisis would have had a break. But you see that it is sheer provocation, and that is why the Anglophone crisis has taken a different twist. It has taken a different twist. And the regional council and councillors, they are there looking, watching helplessly, because they are not the solution to the people's problems. They are not. Now, keeping aside the Anglophone crisis, what are the prerogatives of a council? And like you asked me in my quarter here in Douala, what are the prerogatives of the council? The councillors and the heads, they don't even know their functions. Why? Because this thing has been precipitated to, it's a kind of a situation, an institution that is not needed at the time. So even the government does not even know how to handle it. One problem, the government in Yaoundé is not prepared to give out an iota of its power to the regions. They have been talking of decentralization, which is even enshrined in the constitution. How decentralized? How are these councils, even the local, the subdivisional councils, what centralizations are they enjoying? Nothing. We have electricity cuts, water problems. These are issues that councils ought to handle in a decentralized system. But we have water problem, acute water problem in Douala, like in other regions, because real decentralization, these councils were just window dressing. In fact, wrong solutions to real problems.
Okay, wrong solutions to real problems. Prince Joel, you are a journalist. You work very closely. I'm sure you follow what is happening in the West region, Littoral, Center, South, and a host of others. Do you think that the regional councils, led by their respective regional presidents, are doing enough to explain themselves to the people? Is it that they don't have powers, or the fact that the powers have not been given to them to actually touch the lives of people?
Thank you immensely, Mr. Liu. I may want to pick up from the question you asked him, which was very, very simple. Very simple, and I admire the question. You asked whether or not the impact is felt. Now, when I received this topic, even on social media, there were friends who called me. Now, the first thing is, do the common man even know that far from the municipal councillor whom they saw in the village, there's another councillor who now is a regional councillor? They don't know. Now, it means that is where, first of all, the problem is. The problem would have started by, first of all, telling the common man, Kum Leonard is not a councillor with the mayor that you're seeing there. He's a councillor. The people don't know, first of all, that there is somebody called a regional councillor. That's the first thing. Now, upon that, now, there is now the regional presidents, like you asked me. Now, the regional president, like Dr. Ako said, a regional president has, if not the same status quo.
The law describes him as the chief executive officer of the region.
Okay.
Yeah, but one correction is that the regional councillors are drawn from the divisions.
That's what I'm coming, Mr. Liu. Because in Mr. J, for instance, there is one. Because I asked one guy who called me. He said he did not know. I said, but this person, I don't want to call the person's name. This person is a councillor representing Mr. J subdivision at the level of the regions. And one good thing about all these things is that, Mr. Liu, I had the privilege to watch the final elections of the regional president while in the Northwest. I was there in Bamenda, I covered it live. And the truth is, at times, we should not just create things because we want to create them. It's very true, because decentralization and regional councillors are coming up to tell the people that, okay, we met in Yaoundé during the major national dialogue. There was decentralization. This is it. But now in real time, when you look at it in most of the regions, or most particularly the Northwest and the Southwest, you will discover, Mr. Liu, that all the regional councillors come from the ruling CPDM. Why? Because at the level of the Northwest and the Southwest, the SDF has just one council, and that's the Bamenda 2 council. Now, it means that all the different other people who are regional councillors are put from a single political party, which means that there is no way the voice of somebody who has a contrary view can be heard. They all come from the same house. The second thing is, Mr. Liu, when I actually looked at the elections like I've followed in other areas, the impression one has is that those who are regional presidents today were already designated from Yaoundé, and what was going on as elections was just a camouflage. Why? Because you want to ask yourself that most persons have felt that the regional councillors are not doing their job. Why? Because you took people and you've not, first of all, defined their job description. You need to tell the people, this is a regional councillor, this is what it does. So most of the regional councillors are still to master what is demanding of them. That's the first aspect. And the second aspect, Mr. Liu, is the fact that if you've listened even to some of them speak recently, a case in point, like Kedia said, is Chief Atemabako. When I listen to him, you have the impression that he was expecting just so much and felt that somebody sold the gold and still held to the rope. That's the problem. So I think that as of now, Mr. Liu, if we want to talk about regional councillors and even regionalism, should be told, it is not felt. And to me, it's not existing. It's not existing because, one, does the common man even know that he has a regional councillor? Do you just sit, maybe you just sit in Yaoundé and create a group, you call people and you call them regional councillors. At the end of the day, they hold meetings where people don't know even where they hold the meetings. They take decisions where the common man, because the end result of the regional councils was that let somebody who is the common man feel the impact. But at the end of the day, is the common man feeling the impact? If not, we would have stayed with them of the GO, the SDO, and the governor. When you go to the Northwest, for instance, Mr. Lo, after the decentralization, we now have the regional presidents. We now have the public independent conciliator. But do people know that it even exists? But these are people at the end of the day who have budgets. I was listening the other day and one of them was saying that, okay, there is construction of these things to do. But at the end of the day, when you take those decisions, on whose name are you taking? When you hold those meetings, are you taking those meetings on behalf of the common man? Because the regional presidents or the regional councillors, their prerogative, Mr. Leo, was push the common man's problem to the top. Why? Because the local councils, for instance, anything affecting, say, Misaje or maybe, say, Douala or Nkambe or even Lebialem would have ended with the mayor of that area. But now there is a regional board that should push the problem.
Okay.
That should push a problem further. So I think that, Mr. Leo, the first thing we should be doing, first of all, is let the regional councillors be informed on their job description.
No, there is a law. You can't. They should be informed. There is a law that actually says what they're supposed to do.
But now they are not being felt, Mr. Leo. And when they are not felt, is why? Because at the end of the day, the impression, when you look at it well, which is true, they were just picked. People were picked. Some of whom were never.
Have you seen the law? It's voluminous. We've discussed about that. There are clauses, text articles upon
Mr. Leo, what I'm saying is
vividly what they are supposed to be doing.
No, but now they are not doing. Why? Because some person who had never been even in their village comes at the end of the day because Yaoundé found him worthy. I'm speaking from an area I come from who proves. Yaoundé finds him worthy. The next day is a regional councillor, does not even know him the village. She has never gone to the village or even goes there once in a blue moon. But now the people don't even know he's a regional councillor. How do you collaborate this? How do you match this? It's like saying that you're a parliamentarian for maybe Menchumbe. People don't know you are. That is where the problem is, because regional councillors are the bosses. The people don't even know that there is a regional council. They don't even know that you're a regional councillor. How then do you give their plight to the powers that be?
Dr. Aku, there is a regional president for the Southwest. There's a regional president for the Northwest. There is a regional president for Littoral and for the North. Do you know them? Do they even speak on behalf of the regions? Do they intervene when there is a problem? Kedia, why are you laughing?
Yeah, you know, it is not really funny. He's aware of the maneuver that goes on within the CPDM party, that people are voted from party disciplined standards. And within it, these are the consequences when people who are not implicated in assisting and working for the people are choosing to represent. We have seen a lot of people who are not even, in fact, I am shocked to say it, but Cameroonians are presently admiring the primaries going on in Nigeria, neighboring Nigeria. They are not for a presidential campaign. But when you see the FIFA of choosing who to represent which party, the whole world is relaying it on the media. So what is happening to us? That people are in Yaoundé, they comfort themselves behind glass buildings, and they are pan-picked to represent regions. The shock, some of us are not even aware, is that a lot of ministers, people appointed ministers are councillors.
But that's it.
People who are SEOs in another division are councillors in their, in fact, in their home village.
Divisional delegates.
It is, no, Mr. We know them.
We know them.
The CPDM is aware that to control a council like that of whom, the highest elite of whom, who is a minister or a director, is a councillor. He does not participate in what meetings and the things that he's not there, but his name is on the list. A councillor.
Can you get back to my question?
What I'm saying,
you know the regional presidents.
I said,
at least you are a political analyst. Do you even know them?
What I'm saying is that I might know for what concerns of the Northwest and the Southwest, which is my concern.
Do you know who the regional presidents are?
Yeah, I said we know of the few who are propagating. Like you just call the House of Chief at Mebako, you have the House of Funds.
The regional president for the Northwest is Professor Fru Angwafo.
No, you have just taken it down. I heard him when he complained of the regional budget. That was all.
Yes.
Nothing stopped them. But what I'm telling you is that from the level of what we call party discipline, some of these regional presidents are not even allowed to speak. Meaning for you to even come in front of the press, you only gives authorization. Should I go? They say don't go. He doesn't come. That's what exists. And how do we know them? You need to know somebody from his actions. Remember at one time we had a young man in Boya, they called him the mayor of that particular city. And you imagine what he does? At any time places are getting quiet and people don't talk about him, he just come out and say, please open the market. And he's marching on the street with his gun. Before you know it, by evening, people know that he's walking. But these ones, their order is coming from above. They have told them, Yaoundé, that you have no power. You only do what we ask you to do. And if they have not asked us to do anything, the last time we were talking of budget, I don't know whether the regions have voted their budgets already for 2022. Because in 2021, it was a whole saga. People came from Yaoundé with a budget prepared in papers. They don't even know what budget, what resources the region is having. So when you are in the region, you don't first of all know what resources you're having. You were appointed by somebody. Do you really have a mandate? You don't have a mandate. Mr. Kedia here has given a lot of justifications how sons and daughters of Northwest and Southwest are governors and SGO. How does it profit us? The special status does not make use of DOs and governors. If maybe he's not aware. They were supposed to pack and leave. So when are they leaving? So that we, in the position of the governor, we see the regional president. So that when we go to Bamenda, the person having security behind him is the regional president and not the governor. But today, we are still talking about it. This position has been muted because this particular individual cannot exercise their function in the same town. One time I said here, when you go in a town like London, when you are in New York, and there's an incident in New York, who respond before the media? If the governor doesn't come out, it's the mayor of the town. And we know all these two authorities were voted. When you are voted, you are responsible. Imagine in Washington, the mayor of Washington said, Donald Trump has no right to stop people marching for George Floyd. And the mayor said, I have given them the authorization to do so. And nobody stopped. The mayor of the city gave that role for people to march past that place Trump was avoiding. Where are we? We copy things which are negative. Meaning, if they criticize us, we are fight, we can lock them up. If they talk in the name of SDF, if they are MRC, when they march, we arrest them, send few bullets on their legs, let them run away. Bullets! But we give the same authorization for our members to sing glories. People are now sending motion of support for their lion to come.
You did not tell me whether you know them or not.
No, I know
of the 10.
No, I said I know those who are in trouble with the House of Chiefs for the
of the 10 regional presidents. Who do you know?
Mr. Leo, nobody, and I don't need it. It does not save the post.
You just told some of them.
Yes, I'm just telling you that if I call this for purpose of academics here, Kedia,
yes.
I am saying that they don't have any role.
Okay.
Ask me of the governor.
Okay.
Yes, I will tell you that Okala Bila is there and he called us dogs, and he's still in the same position.
Okay.
We need people who act for the name of the republic. Don't get on. Mr. Leo, let me be talking. No, because I know you have a right. You have a right to.
Doctor, you have spoken for so long now.
Yes, honestly, it is more. We are angered.
Doctor.
Special status should be special status.
Doctor.
I believe the situation might have changed. If by today we are talking, you would have been asking me that the regional president for the Southwest, since the governor left, what has he done?
Okay.
This would have been the right question.
Please,
so don't tell us to know. We don't need to know them because they are shadow members.
Doctor.
Okay.
You know that during a first school leaving and common entrance, they ask what is the name of the governor, what is the name of... I'm asking this.
It is not the type of education we need again too.
Wait.
No, let's be honest. We don't need this education again.
I know.
Okay.
In civics, at least our students some of our students are watching, and primary school people. At least that is assignment. That is please.
And he sits in.
That
front of me, I wasn't far.
Please.
Father leaves and he sits in as a regional president.
Please.
Because the father chaired the elections in front of the governor, and everything that happened as he left, the father leaves, the son sitting. At times,
you're answering my question.
No, I'm not answering, but I said I just
please, calm down.
At times, people don't even want to know those things because it does not serve a purpose.
Please.
Who is a regional councillor even?
Please. It is in fulfillment of our constitution. We have a document that guides our destiny, which is a constitution, and in that constitution, we are governed under the unitary, decentralized form, and then regional councils and the rest is the end of the decentralization process. So we may ask that they may not be effective, but we cannot say why are they existing? They're there because the constitution says they should exist. But I'll ask the same question to you, Robert. do you have the feeling that Cameroonians, young children, know their regional presidents and what they're supposed to be doing? And do we see them intervene when a region is in crisis?
I'll tell you, Mr. Leo, that this house was just put in place about 2 years. And
okay.
The awareness, I cannot compare it the same as if we are talking about parliamentarians, which many people know they are parliamentarians, and maybe ministers. The awareness for just 2 years cannot be compared the same. So to answer your question, I will tell you that about 40% no, which is less than the normal 50%. That's the honest truth that we should be able to tell our people. When I see my co-panelists talking, I enjoy them. I like when people air out their mind. We are in democracy, especially when a co-panelist speak, I say people are angered. Yes, it's true. People are so angered with the ongoing crisis, with the number of people that have died, that at times when these regional houses and administrators, they do their best, people don't see it because actually the anger is there. And I really think a lot of appeasement is supposed to be done for people to cool down their temper, because what will you tell a mother that have lost the 2 sons because of this crisis, that the regional assembly, they are doing everything? No, that mother is angered. So the anger is really there, and I'm one of the people that I believe that a lot is supposed to be done to bring out the psychological depression that people are undergoing. Because if, for instance, I'm on this panel and I've lost my brother, my language will not be the same. Honestly, that's the honest truth. Somebody that have lost the brother or the husband, their language will not be the same because there's a lot of anger. But out of that, we should still be able to say the truth. Like now, I am saying the truth, which the viewers, they know what I'm saying is the truth. But when we come here as an analyst, we should also say the truth for those that are looking at us. When somebody comes, sit on the platform and say, the regional president don't know their function, it shows that what he is saying, he's out to say something else and not to actually analyze what's there. Will you tell me that Chief Abako told you that he does not know his function? Will you tell me that the Angwa for that is in Bamenda told you that he does not know his function? Blasphemy. I know we are in anger, but we should at least say things the way we need to say. Say that maybe they don't have the resources. Yes, I'll accept with you. Because Chief Abako said that he does not have enough resources. He said it. But to say that he does not know his function, he will be totally disappointed with what you are saying about him. So when we are analyzing things, we should be able to say things the way they are. And I still say that these regional houses, like my co-panelist said, the crisis started and there was a constitution of 1996 that was put in place. And the crisis led to the progress of decentralization. So we should understand that the regional house alone was not a body that was put in place to come and bring a total stop to the crisis of separation. They are doing a lot to ensure that the Anglophone problem is being solved at their level. But about separation is something else. And I don't think that I will be the one to come on this platform again after over a period of 5 years to talk about the Anglophone, the problem of separation that even existed before reunification? Or will I come here to talk about the Anglophone problem that started in the Fumban conference when things were being changed? Or will I talk about the Anglophone crisis? I believe that all Cameroonians now, Anglophones, they know the genesis of the Anglophone crisis, they know the genesis of the Anglophone problem, and they know the genesis of the issue of separation or independence as a state after the Eastern Regional Crisis. We all know this history. So there are 3 separate things. So this house is ensuring, putting its effort to ensure that the respect, the desire of the people. But separatists are still there. And for them, they are not interested in that. That is why they still kidnap the regional chief of the Northwest. But we should not be open to say they have not done anything. Because I still say it to the people of the Northwest and Southwest region that today we have many Anglophones as SGOs and GO, thanks to these regional houses that are putting on pressure. We may say they are not important, but one of the problems we had is that we had SGOs that were speaking French in our region, and we did not want them. And the regional houses are doing their best for such things to be changed. but we still come and say they have done nothing. And we've gotten to the extent in which, with our anger, we criticize everything and insult everything. We insult our chief, we insult men of God, everybody that puts any effort, we don't see it, we insult somebody. That is the problem we are having. The anger is too much, which I still think that we need to go through the process of appeasement to cool down temper. Because there are some people that they are angry that even if you give the total budget of the Republic of Cameroon to the Northwest and Southwest region, there are some people that will not still be satisfied because they are burning down in anger. So we should be able to give reasoning a chance so that we can proceed. If we don't give reasoning a chance, we will keep on suffering. We should not come here and say the regional houses are supposed to take care of electricity. Sorry, my co-panelists, it's not the job of regional house. Even in Nigeria, that the federal system, NEPA is not being controlled by the federal states. Those are aspects of sovereignty that is not controlled by a state but by the republic. Even in Nigeria, NEPA is controlled by the republic and other African countries. So when we are analyzing, we should say things, we should not divert and say things that are not true, maybe because we are burning in anger. But I still say it to conclude is that the regional houses have done their best. And what we need to do is to work with them and encourage them so that they should progress. Okay. But when we come and we say they have not done nothing, for me, I look at it as if it's a clown. I will give just one common layman aspect of it, which I know my co-panelists will definitely laugh, but let them laugh, but it is factual. The regional houses have created employment directly and indirectly, which is an advantage, which will not say it have done nothing.
The issue is the people were handpicked.
Okay.
People don't know.
I am not even talking about the handpicked people that were elected. People are working, workers are there in those assemblies directly and indirectly, and it has created employment, thereby solving a problem.
Then you take me as a friend to work with you. Is that employment?
What's that?
Something is the same procedure.
My brother Prince, if today I am appointed and I take you and you are working, are you not employed?
People don't want it that way.
Oh, you are people. You are now the spokesman of the people. And this is what the problem we are having, Mr. Leo. Many people come out in their anger and they see, Mr. Leo, one second, let me land. Yes. This is what my one of my senior political godfather always say, senior barrister Acho Julius always says that many people have become representative of people when they have not even been elected. You see somebody, he calls himself an analyst and he say he's speaking what the people are saying. Have the people mandated you? Have you been elected by the people? But you say you are saying what the people. What census have you taken? What data have you collected to come to that survey to say I am speaking on behalf of the people as who? That is the problem we have.
Now, Robert thinks that lots, he may not have said lots, but he says there are things that have been done so far by the regional assemblies. Mr. Njikang, I want us to look at some of the problems that may have arisen in this littoral, others in the south region, others in the central region. Have you seen the regional president actually stepping in to issue a memorandum or say something to show that they are the CEOs of the regions and they are calling for order?
Mr. Leo, since the co-panelists talk of truth, I think the truth is that the regional councils are not failed.
People don't know them.
I don't know what he means by truth. When he is struggling with blatant lies, with, and things that do not even have substance. When he says the regional councils have created, before then I made mention of water. I earmarked water, the provision of potable water, as the domain of activity, one of the main domain of activities of councils. That's what I said, to clear that first of all. Now, when you talk of employment, regional councils have created employment as an achievement. My brother, I begin to look at you with suspicion.
Employment is not an achievement, it's a failure.
Is that the purpose for the regional council? Ask yourself that question. what was at stake, what was at stake that the regional councils were created. What were they to handle? Were they to create employment?
Yes.
All right. That is the truth by you. That is the truth by you. But let me tell you that the regional councils, most of the councillors, like we have been saying, do not even know what they are supposed to do. Some of them, they don't know. Even the presidents don't know what they are to do.
How do you say they don't
Are you
know?
people their mouthpiece? Why people blaspheming on TV?
But
is that freedom of expression? Is that democracy?
Please, there is a law that actually outlines what is expected of them. Is it that they don't have the resources, or that they don't know? Have they not read the law?
Are they illiterate?
They don't know.
Okay.
They don't know, Mr. Leo. They don't know. Let me tell you, some of these people are just jubilating because they have been given an unemployment. And that is their zeal. That's why some of them are so overzealous. If that is not the case, why am I not feeling the population of my quarter, not feeling the presence of the so-called regional councillors? Omispo, the panda, does not know who represents Douala 5 in
The regional house.
at the regional level. We don't know. An intellectual of my capacity, I don't know. Now, if you read your functions, they give you a book. I'm supposed to provide water. I'm supposed to provide pen. I'm supposed to provide this.
It's Omispo in Douala 5.
And then by the end of the day, you don't provide these things. Do you know your functions?
It's Omispo in Douala 5.
You are supposed to tell the people. You are supposed to tell the people, move to the people, present yourself to the people. You tell the people, my people, this is my function, or these are my functions, but I can't do them because of this, that. But I'm talking from the standpoint of the Douala Regional Council. They are where they are, and the population is where they are. Nobody sees them. Nobody hears from them. You will only hear from them when they say the regional council has voted a budget. That's when you hear about regional council. When it concerns some finances, that's when you hear about them. They have voted this, they have voted that. Now, coming back to the Anglophone situation, my brother. When the regional council was created, they thought it was a quick solution, a magic solution to the Anglophone crisis. I asked the question, and I'm still asking, what is the complaint, the problems of the Anglophones? Was it the creation of regional councils, which I don't think? Was it marginalization? Was it a kind of intra-assimilation by the majority Francophone? Now, the plight of the people, what the people really wanted, they have been put aside, Now a regional council is given to them, which is a fumbling regional council has been given to them, which does not even know what to do. The super governor is there, like my co-panelist said. The SDOs are there with superpowers. And there is a law that says the regional president, it is the governor that has to approve even some of the decisions of the regional president.
I said so.
Then, when you get such, I will quote my friend Far Elvis, a kangaroo system, where nothing is clear. Nothing is clear. They will give you an independence. They'll give you an independent. Then they tie it with a rope. whereby you can't move independently until you are told to move like a robot.
Okay.
Don't use that term independent.
Okay.
People interpret it the wrong way.
Okay. Good evening to you. Good evening to you, Abong Ezekiel, Flaunt, a rapper, and to you, Ndiwum Emmanuel, the Njikaman. I don't know where we are meeting after this. Kedia, Robert says that you should send us a message where we should meet after the show. Ndiwum Emmanuel, greet your wife for us and the kids. Nkanyi Abadayan, we say good evening to you, Maximilian Mark. Good evening to you, Gonza Wilson. Good evening to all of you watching us on our social media handle. We are talking about knowing and not knowing. Is it not also because people don't, I don't know, is it not because people are not aware of the existence of this and are doubting whether the regional councilor, presidents and hosts and all of them know what is expected of them? Is it not also because they are not coming out to the media to tell the people that we were voted because government felt that powers were centralized in Yaoundé? We have been sent to bring government power closer to you. The guys of Littoral region, the regional councils, go down to Yabasi, for example, tell the people, because they're there to serve the guys on camp, tell the people of Yabasi that since we were elected, we have been given charge to show proof that we know. We have been given charge to assist. Don't expect much from us. We can come in at this level. From there, they move to the Sanagam Maritime Division in Edea, or to Mwanko, or to Yoyo, and tell the people that government has heard your cries that powers are centralized in Yaoundé. Government is using us to bring power closer to you. So we are coming down to this. The guys of the West region move to Bambutos, move to Nun Division, move to Banjul, to Bafang, to Bagante, and explain these things. Have we seen it?
Mr. Leo, the first thing is...
Maybe they don't have the budget to do this.
No, the first thing, Mr. Leo, is we're not even supposed to get to this level. It means that the regional councils and regional councillors would have first of all have gone down to their different areas before the elections, which means that people should have known that, okay, Kum Leonard is representing, say, Menjo. But now it did not occur. I'm saying so, Mr. Leo, because I had the opportunity to see the gymnastics that was going on in the hall during the regional elections in Bamenda. The first thing is that in the regional bureau, I remember very well that there is a subdivision that came out to say, okay, we will not accept because in the regional executive, we are not part of it. Because the president is Meza. Now they wanted in such a way that each area has somebody to represent them. Okay, that was solved. And now later on, Mr. Leo, we should be able to know or tell Cameroonians that these different regional councillors from all areas were kept under committees. I remember committees were created, committee of education, committee of finance, committee of this. But the question you're asking yourself, 2 years gone, what has become of the committees? Where are the people? You don't feel them. One of the secretary generals of the regional council to come from Dongamantu, one-time vice principal of a school who has disappeared, which I'm sure he should be enjoying. There's so many. The first thing is that, Mr. Leo, I've said something from the one here that the regional councils or regional councillors have a lot of lapses. The first is that it comes, and all of them come from one political party, the CPDM, the Northwest and the Southwest all. Now we know very well that when you're outspoken, even as a traditional ruler, you will not have found favor to become part of the House of Chiefs. Now when you have all these things that are being calculated, tailored, at the end of the day, you don't expect someone who was just given an opportunity, you're staying in Douala, and they call you, get maybe a phone call, that, okay, go back, come to Bamenda today, or go to this. There is regional elections that are going on, you become a regional councillor. That person does not even understand. That's why I'm coming back to Mr. Leo, the fact of understanding who is a regional councillor. Because some of these people were people that the local communities or the local inhabitants didn't know them. Until they don't know them. I've given you a case in point. It's Mukage subdivision. When you gave me this topic, I have my guys, I was telling them, this is your regional councillor, because even the day of the elections, we were together in Bamenda. I saw everything that was going on. He doesn't know.
Yeah, but my question is, the problem is, if the people...
They may not know because these regional councillors are elected indirectly.
Yes.
They are not elected by the masses.
I know.
Don't expect the masses to know them.
No, my question still stands, Kedia. It is true it was an indirect elections, but they were elected, they were chosen from the divisions that make up the regions.
That's the issue.
My question is, after being elected, you say they should have done that before, but now after the election, why not go on they call it a communication tour? They call make the people tour. Why not go down and tell the people?
This is where the problem is. I'm still saying this because the procedure through which they were chosen, these people were persons who had direct alliances with top persons, and you will not go down to you're talking as who? I'm speaking because I know the reality of certain areas.
Yeah, you are talking of the Northwest. Let's take the case of the littoral region. What stops the regional president with his executive to go down to Yabasi here, call the people, get the local radio, yes, call the local radio and tell them that we were elected. This is what you should expect from us, so that this nuance actually is taken care of.
The first thing is, when you want to organize some of those things, Mr. Leo, you will of course want to need an authorization. And you're coming under which platform? Because these people were taken under a platform. Mr. Leo, we should be able to establish the facts. The fact is that these people were taken under a group. They have persons they are directly answerable to. Nobody will want to go as an individual. In fact, who will mandate you to go as an individual? You need to go as under an umbrella.
Yeah, but that's what I said. They should go as a team. Take 50-man delegation to... Yes. What stops them from taking maybe an agency, take 70 seaters and then move?
Mr. Leo.
Create the awareness.
Mr. Leonard, what you are saying here is electively a propaganda tour. Regional councils don't need propaganda. They are not doing marketing.
That's it.
We are not doing branding. We don't need to educate the masses. Actions speak louder than words. They should go into actions and the activities which they were elected to execute. By the time we are talking here now, we should be citing projects which shall be realized.
I will cite them.
But I'm going to come to you. They should cite projects which they have
So the people
executed.
should even begin by knowing who is their regional councillor.
I said, it's 2 years.
The people don't even know who their regional councillor is.
I said 2 years.
Are you the people?
2 yeas is not.
You talked of sampling.
Please. 2 years is too much a period for us to identify regional executives. 2 years is a period for us to lift on the obligations under which we were chosen. And if there is really an activity within their mandate, we are supposed to feel it already. By their actions, we shall know them. The Bible is clear on that. If we have not seen their actions, then they have no mission. A mission that was made, it was a political mission. And I was very glad Mr. Kedia said it is an employment. I said it is a political compensation.
Which is a fact.
Of those who have been supporting the party. When they created the Senate, some of us came here and we asked, what has the National Assembly failed to do that the Senate is going to do? That will be so extraordinary. And people tell us, I know what, to complete the constitution. That is the basics. Now they are completing the announced positions of the constitution. Today, we have regional councils. And we are still asking the same question again. Are Cameroonians not tired with institutions that carry names, but inside they are empty? That is the same thing we are talking of, a special status within a decentralized system. We said it sometime here. It is not grammar. It is not expression. We need actions. What is in the special status? Empty bag. Big grammar. What is in decentralization? Another big grammar. 30 years gone. People are not willing to give up. That one is clear. When we keep on creating, we create. Who are those being appointed? Kedia is telling me that there is employment. A lot of those people are simply moving from one Jangi house to the other.
It's a fact.
He was a friend yesterday in CBC, today he is in
was one time vice president.
He was governor yesterday, is that way.
Yes.
What employment?
Divisional delegate.
It's like we are not watchful of what is going on. It's political grandeur. People want to show up that we manage a party. As you keep on talking, the next organ we are going to create, maybe it's the National Committee for Reconciliation. The same people again will move from here to the other posture. 700 billion for their budget.
Fact.
That's what we are glad to manage.
Fact.
The budget has been made. Why do we toil? Why do we keep on lavishing the taxpayers' hard-earned currency on institutions? Cameroonians don't need that. We need our life food to change. This is high cost of living. I said it at the beginning. Cameroon, the government is unable to give a decision that no, import duties on rice. We have annulled it. But what you see, 1 billion for people who are going for a pilgrimage. 480 million for a Presbyterian church debt with City Trust. We come and clap. Is that what we need? People need to eat. People need to drink good water. Somewhere I wrote, 70 years after independence, we are unable to have energy autonomy. We are unable to have drinking water. We are unable to have a stable electricity. And we call it governance, democracy, the New Deal. It is really shocking that today we want to know people. Knowing you, how does it serve me? Mr. Governor, Mr. Regional President, carry out their action. Let's know you by your actions.
Fact.
I don't need them.
They don't see the regional.
I don't need to know them.
Bypassing the
The
government
moment
decision.
you create an impact, the press will come towards you. You don't need to call the press.
Fact.
Mr. Leo, they don't need to invite you for a
Bypass
regional
the
president that is
regional- the
active
governor.
and doing what his mission warrants him. It is your action that will bring the press. In fact, we are always told that gold or diamond, they don't hide. When they are there, we know they are there. They don't need to identify to you. So we are sick that people went to Oxford. I'm happy then when you hear them, when they decorate it. Yes, those who were elected to reconstruct the Northwest and the Southwest within the same spirit of meeting up and resolving it. Yes, they made that tour. They made that tour and told us that they will start with regions that were more or less aggressive. Another 2 or 3 years is gone. We want them to cite to us the project that have been realized. You will ask maybe the next program you bring that particular one. Let's assess the institution put in place during the before. To what extent have they served the people?
We discussed that last week.
Yes, imagine that. So what are we talking here? At times, when you think of Cameroon, yes, God made a man the will to stand and the will to fall. One of the will in Cameroon is that we should talk. You will talk and we end there. What can they do again?
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. I agree with Kedia. Let the other panelists not be driven by anger. There are people who work at the regional house because of its creation. It is outrageous to blatantly say that the councillors don't know their functions. Please do filter some panelists. Okay. Andre is writing from Tico. Good evening, Mr. Liu. All your panelists are dishonest. Truth is the regional council presidents know their responsibilities, but there are administrative and financial challenges which makes it impossible for them to work. Further saying that the regional council has created impact and using employment is totally misleading and dishonesty. Please let all panelists restart and be honest. Peter is writing from Bomenda. Good evening, my people. I think they should create a platform even on the state TV for some of these people to talk to the public. For I myself, I didn't know something exists as regional councillors. Lobson is writing from Yaoundé. Greetings to everyone in the studio and special greetings to Dr. Ako John Ako and my henchman, Mr. Prince Joel Tabot Machiavelli, writing from Yaoundé. Ndiwum Emmanuel, we have heard. Let us catch up after the program. We know you are somewhere. Yes. This one. Good evening. Okay. Can you just write to me after the program? You want this cap? You want the cap? So write to me after the program. I'll see how I can direct you. Good evening, Mr. Moderator. I love your outfit. Please kindly tell me who does your cap and outfit. Okay, the present traditional attire. Okay, this is the second person wanting same. Good evening to you, Mr. Leo, and those 3 real sons of the soil. I just wish to let our other brother know that it will be trustworthy to have DOs and SDOs of the opposition party appointed in order to let us know that appointments are genuine. Ducho II from Betua. Good evening to you. Congratulations, Mr. Kum. You are doing a great job. I like the analysis of the panelists in African where we have to be open in order to put things straight. Thank you very much, Mr. Kum. The regional councillor should copy from Samuel Eto'o. Yes, that is, I don't know, it is you who is coming in. Yes. Is that not where the problem is? The regional councillors are there. It is spelled out that they are the chief executive officers of the regions. Why don't they also impose themselves? Let the people see them doing things. Because seemingly they are working under the shadows of the governor as he's writing.
You see, there is a law and everybody knows his function. And I'm one of those that at the beginning of this program I was very honest to say they know their function. Chief Abako came out to say he is lacking but the resources to execute his function. So when we say they don't know their function, it means that we are telling a lie. They know their function. Now, to come with the fact, the question you are asking, the governors are there, they have their rules. The constitution is very clear. The governor knows his duty. The regional assembly, they know their functions. The councils, the municipality, they know their functions. The senators, they know their functions because there is a law. I will not believe that somebody will go into election, which all of them, they are educated and will come here and say they don't know their function. Actually, they know their function. And when I talk about this honesty here, people like to pick just one point and hang on it. Mr. Leo, I talked about the fact that we don't still have again francophone teachers in the northwest and southwest region. They have been sent back. Excuse me. So you don't even know.
So the regional councillors.
So you don't know the function. Their function is to ensure that they look into the judicial system, the educational system, the health system of the region.
Teachers because of the regional councillors.
That is their function. So you are even ignorant and you don't know their function. No, let me proceed, my brother, please. I said that they have put a lot of effort to ensure that we don't have francophone teacher that will teach our children in French anymore. At the level of the Jew, I spoke about it. But it's okay. Some viewers, they have decided to pick just the point of employment to hang on it. That I've said that the regional have created employment, but they don't want to talk about the other functions they have created. Mr. Leo, coming back to the littoral region, the regional assembly have put a lot of effort to ensure that the division of Kam Yabasi is having a road that is under construction. Look at when the contract was signed. Look at when the regional house was signed. And you look at the effort that, the influence that this regional house created to ensure that this aspect is being done. Now, it is also sad that Dr. Ako John will come here on a platform like this and start to criticize that 1 billion was given to Muslims to go on pilgrimage. You should say this in the north, these people can stone you. It's their value. They value their religion. And it's normal for the government to assist them with 1 billion so that they can go. If you tell a Muslim that about give that they are giving the 1 million, they will stone you. Because when you look at their religion, it's one of the pillars of their belief to go for pilgrimage.
And so for go for a retreat,
and when a government
go for a retreat to Ngomejab, government should pay my transport. Why a common Cameroonian?
Where did the problem
start?
please.
Please.
I don't want. Please, we should stop.
Please. I want to plead. Please. I want to plead with us. Please, I want to plead with all of us. We should not go back to that issue of religious. We should not discuss those religious issues here, please. Okay. They are very sensitive and interpreted differently by different communities and people. Just go on.
All right. One of the panelists earlier spoke about the fact that most of the regional councillors are DOs and ministers.
Vice principals, divisional delegates.
That's fake news.
It's not.
If you can say they are former, come.
But we are here to
one
of the secretary generals of the for the Northwest is a vice principal who has abandoned his duty.
You are talking about minister, delegate.
Kedia, I cannot play to this thing. I would have rather loved that instead of you talking of Douala, you should have been talking of your area of origin. That is your regional, your councillor is this. If I ask you a regional councillor, I doubt if you know.
Prince.
That's the thing.
Prince.
I mean, the regional council of your area. I know my area and I know those who come from there.
Yes.
Oh, you know
This is
everything. Nobody knows anything.
No, I'm talking
You are
about
the area.
Prince,
I'm thinking of where I come from.
Prince, when you were developing, all of us listen now.
Look, I'm saying something which is a fact, Mr. Leon is arguing.
No,
I'm saying that somebody is this and you're arguing.
Verifiable.
Yes, it's verifiable.
Please.
I'm saying something that is a fact.
Please, Prince, when you were developing, we all listen now.
Then why is he saying I'm lying?
No, let him just say it, you respond. When you were writing,
Yeah.
he's telling you now because he took notes, so take notes. You respond to
Dear
him.
Cameroonian viewing us,
Head of state.
I was very honest being a communicator of the CPDM to come out plain to say that Abako, the regional president of the House of Chiefs, came out to say he's not having resources. Was I not honest to say it? Why should I hide to say it? I will say it. He came out. Even the one of Northwest that wanted to make a tour to talk with Anglophones in all regions that was stopped. I had a plan to go and meet him to know what actually happened because it is their duty, and I will say it. It was wrong for him to be stopped to go around to talk to people, Anglophones from the other regions that are in the French region. It is not my, and I will say it. Why should I lie?
But I told you. Yeah.
I will say the truth, and I always say the truth. But when I speak the truth and I get people opposite of me saying the contrary, I ask myself a lot of questions. There is no minister that is a member of the regional house. There is none. There is no delegate.
So that is not a member, that is not a councillor. Mention that clearly so that they should be getting you. Because I know those who are.
That's what we are saying.
To go further, I will tell viewers watching that there are former Jews that they have gone for their retirement, they've gone into politics, and they are at those houses. But to tell me that there's an active minister or active Jew or active delegate, then I will be ready to hear from my co-panelists and I will denounce it because they are not supposed to hold those two positions. And if you people know it, as Anglo-Saxon people, be open enough to call their names, let's denounce it. There is nothing. One thing I would always like to tell people is that nobody has spoken on TV and have been arrested for saying the truth on TV that I know. In this Republic of Cameroon, there's no panelists that have been arrested for saying what that panelists have said on TV and it is true. I don't know any. So if my co-panelists, you know, say it and denounce it, let's build our nation.
Okay, Mr. Njikang and Moses, how do we get first the population know their representatives at the regional level, the presidents, the executive, and also how do we get them to work for the people to fill them?
Mr. Liu, I find myself uncomfortable if I hear people say things that do not exist in the field.
Okay.
And this is characteristic of CPDM. You know, I don't know whether if they have to send somebody to any platform, they tell the person, this is what you have to say, and you hang on that. All these things, we see them. Just like Dr. Ako said, action speaks louder than words, Mr. Liu. I earlier said that you can tell a blind man that there is oil in the soup, but you can't tell him if there is salt. Because he will feel
The taste.
Now, where do we feel our regional councillors? In which domain? I don't want to go, if we said they don't know their function, it may be hyperbolical, no doubt, but it is because they are not felt. I can't touch anything having done by our regional councillors in Douala. Not even one. I mean, not even one. Well, since it is a tradition of the CPDM to build bridges where there are no rivers, and this has been manifested on this platform, but it is disheartening. Honestly, the regional councillors haven't and are not doing anything.
Okay, you think they are not doing anything? That is your judgment. No, please. He listened to you talk. Let him. I still want to cue him. What do you think should be done to get them do something?
Good. For the regional councillors to do what they are supposed to do, like we earlier said, they should be, first of all, honest to manage whatever resources they put at their disposal. Before that, they should streamline the projects based on the needs of the population. Most of them come from areas, they know the needs. Yeah. You streamline the needs. And then the government, the central government, I'll call their father in Yaoundé, because their father in Yaoundé from the central government should give them the necessary resources.
Okay. Is that not where the bigger problem is, the issue of resources? Because we are talking about regional councillors, but we also have, there are the independent conciliators. Conciliators for the Southwest and Northwest regions. We have heard very little about them too. I know that they have been receiving complaints. I have had information that many persons have complained already to their offices, but they cannot really function because they lack resources. Is that not where the bigger problem is? That institutions are created, sent down to the regions to work, but in Yaoundé, everything is still there because they don't have what to do. They don't have what to work with.
Mr. Liu, I may want to pick up.
Sure. Okay. The two of you want to?
Yes. I knew it was my turn. I want to pick up from what one of the viewers wrote. The viewer was talking of the regional councillors and presidents going the Samuel Etofis way. Samuel Etofis is one of those guys you want to admire. Why? Because he has broken loose from the central system. And that's why you always find him on loggerheads with his own minister. He wants the job done. Now, if the regional president is the CEO of the region, and we have never heard him saying, for instance, or telling, say, just the Dio, who should be a subordinate to him, that Mr. Dio of, say, Dongaman, to know Mr. Dio of Njikang, you have done this whereas you were not. Does he know his function? Because when people say, I say they don't know their function, they think I'm dishonored. Because when you know, Samuel Etofis, we saw him, people said he's not the head coach. He's not Rico Besson. But he told the boys, you are here to defend the green, red, yellow. And we saw it because they played a match against Burundi and Cameroon barely survived on 1 goal. When Nigeria was against their opponent, how many did they give? 7 goals to 1. That is what the office wanted. He said, you cannot play with a no-name and you're surviving on 1 goal. Is this a spirit you're taking to Qatar? That's a fact, Mr. Liu. So I feel that if somebody knows their duty, that's what I was looking at. If you know that I am the CEO, because now, Mr. Liu, at one time on this platform, I think sometime last year, or even when these people came, you have talked of the public independent conciliator. We spoke about it here. Now, at the level of Northwest and Southwest, just for instance, you have close to 4 people wearing the same casket. There is the public independent conciliator, who is appointed via a presidential decree. You have the regional president, who is also chief of the region. You have now, we have moved from government, the government delegate to city mayor. Because city mayor too is still the region. But now, Mr. Liu, at the end of the day, who quaffs? Senator Regina Mundi was released recently. Who welcomed the senator? Did you hear of the governor, the regional council of the Northwest? It is the governor who spoke. And after the governor spoke, we saw the episcopal president, the national president, Andrew Fonya, even going further to meet the prime minister. Now, when you have people who know their duty, because it's knowing. Do you know? I know. Okay, now a top personality had been seized by the separatists. Yes, the personality has come out. Even a communique somewhere to say you condemn, we have not seen you condemn. Even now the regional councillor for that area, because with this thing is, all the different divisions have their regional councillors. And now I said the elections of the Northwest, which I witnessed, I sat in the hall, not as if I was outside. Each division has somebody in the regional executive. But now at the end of the day, how do you explain that things are done and the same people whom, whether they were voted as equal as indirect or direct, it is true they are already in line. But at the end of the day, Mr. Liu,
some persons have asked why we call it indirect. It means that
he will surely explain.
No, it's because they were voted by councillors. They were not voted by the mass.
The masses.
Yes.
They were voted by the councillors themselves. I don't want to go, yes. Yes, I don't even want to go to that length. But what I'm saying, Mr. Leo, is these people have big positions. Now, it is very true they keep complaining of the finances, but power at times is seized. How do you seize power? You make yourself being failed. I think Dr. Ako called the name of a former Jew in Boya, who was failed. Former mayor, thank you. The former mayor. Cameroon has 360 subdivisions. He was just one of the mayors out of 360 subdivisions.
Like the late mayor of Njombe Pinja.
That is it. Paul King, when he died, I went there as well. Now, you have people who are acting. You have somebody who is the regional president, who on a very good day is even more than the governor, because the governor was appointed to head, given that there's no school, you come out to become a governor. The governor is representing the head of state. He is representing it. No. That is where the problem is. Now, if we say he's representing the head of state, then special status is not there in the Northwest and the Southwest. We strike it off. And that is why Senator Kemende, may so rest in peace, when he was chosen by the Prime Minister to go to the Northwest, he was amongst those who was chosen. May he so rest in peace. A father whom I always communicated with. He was chosen, go to the Northwest. He told the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, permit me, can you tell me what I'm going to tell these people as a special status? Okay. Because he could not be told, he resigned. Dr. Ako, how do we get our regional presidents and executive to be more proactive, to be felt? Should we join our voices? Because I know many of them are complaining of resources. Should Yaoundé do more? That is actually giving them the powers, resources, and everything to do their job.
Mr. Leonard, it is the answer I may give you may wonder a lot of people. No, go on. We don't need to do much. Okay. Government needs small initiative. Okay. Pass a decree and a new governorship and all the like. The budget made for the heads of the government. It becomes the regional budget controlled by the governor, the SD, and the rest becomes the budget for the region. And the president of the region, which is the chief executive officer, will man the finance and carry out the activities. If we need Cameroon to accept what we're doing, the governors, the SDOs, we can find them job somewhere at the Ministry of Territorial Administration, decentralization, give them attached personnel, call them back. That's what happened. It's what people don't know. All the SDOs and the rest who don't have positions, a lot of them are in the corridors of the Ministry of Territorial Administration. Some of them are there just to sign papers, others carry messages from one office to the other. And with time, we may use them in other domains. I mean, we need to redeploy personnel at the level of the Ministry of Territorial Administration. The issue of finance should not be there. We should not over-labor the taxpayers. While we were young, school fees was paid 500 for primary school, 700 francs. Today, others are paying 10,000, 13,000. If you find it normal, it is because the taxpayers are over-labored. And so we cannot add a budget on another budget. What is it that the regional president will do that the governor is not going to do? I asked the question here in one region, like he was saying, the governor, the mayor, no, forget they are within the president of the region. You have the governor, you have the SDO, you have the DO, you have the mayor, you have the city mayor. 5 people. Regional House of Chiefs. Yes, House of Chiefs. We should not forget about that. In 1972, for those who are not aware, one of the reasons given to Southern Cameroonians to annul federation and go for a united republic was that running different house and different executive personnel was too overburdened for the state. And today we come back, we are crying. How will the president exercise when the governor knows that he mans gendarme and military behind him? That you tell him that, governor, you are going to be under the regional president. The only thing to solve that crisis is that we have fought a lot. Really, let's accept the law that those who have voted by the masses, let them prevail. And it will not go, it should not cause, because we have a problem in Cameroon. When that will be done, it's like the regional councils or regional whatsoever had defeated the governor. It is not. We need to man and manage finance. The budget, the projects that the mayor
in fact, the DO and the governors are now lavishing on. Simply transport it to the regional assembly. Let the president give him the confidence. Let him carry out the job. So this is what it is. And by this time that we are talking now, imagine those places that the person sitting as the mayor, we were hearing from the mayor of Malangfe. There is no money. How will he have money when the DO, the SDO is there? You find the DO again in the same division. What are they doing that is so special? That all of them, everybody with his own 6 gendarmes, 6 police behind him, they will not lose. But a presidential decision will solve these issues. The special status or whatsoever, decentralization should be complete. There is nothing like partial decentralization. Yes, you see, those who are of the central committee, those who are of the CPDM, they find it like a defeat. Those who are appointed by their champion, the #1 lion, the #1 magistrate, the chief of armed forces, if they don't represent the head in that place, then power is not well managed. You have a problem that the one we have voted should be under him. A single individual decision cannot go above a unanimous decision of the people. We should believe that. This is a state.
Okay.
Why are governors voted in some places without fear? They carry the same duty. In our own case, regional assembly president are not fit to do the job except Mr. Governor. We should change our mentality and accept that, yes, if we're going for decentralization, go for it. You cannot be afraid of something and you are romancing at the same time with it.
Okay.
Let's accept and take the nation forward. Yes, we accepted decentralization. Practice it.
Okay.
We want to feel it.
Kedia, Malangfe, how do we get the people feel our regional presidents and councils better?
I would like to talk about the level of communication.
Okay.
You see, like all ministries, all councils, all these regional assemblies, they have a department of communication that need to communicate to the people actually what they have done. Because when I analyze some of the aspects that they have done here, it was strange to many panelists.
It wasn't strange when you said,
well,
Kedia,
you
because there's always going to, he's talking about viewers and teachers no longer. I should call him there.
No, take note. Take note, please.
No, I responded to that. Why is he coming back to?
Okay.
When you say regional councillors and made GOs and francophone teachers will leave.
When I come to a platform like this, I love to analyze. I don't like to start to attack what one person have said, what the other person have said. Because if I start to do that, we will not end up giving solutions. But as I earlier said, these departments are supposed to ensure that they do communication of what they are doing so that the people should be aware. If there is no communication, the people will not feel. There are some mayors that will construct just 2 bridges in their municipality and people will sing praises of them. And there are some that will construct bridges, give tap water, but communication is not there and people will not be aware. So communication is supposed to do a lot. So that is my advice. And I will still be very open to tell them, Prince Angwafo, Chief Ebako, and the rest, if you people have a problem, let your communicator say it. If you people are having difficulties, because I'm one of those that I want the crisis to come to an end. And if you people have a job and you have any blockage and you think you tell me, I will say it. As I insult Amber, so as there's any problem, you tell me, I will say it. If you people need a whistleblower, get to me that this is the problem, this is the problem. I will say it in any channel, anywhere, I will say it. I, Robert Kedia, will say it. So that one, to be very clear. Mr. Kum Leonard, I see say it that there is a lot of anger, and at times when some of us will come here to analyze, people always have that notion that CPDM, like my co-panelist here, that was saying that it seems as if CPDM militant are sent to go and lie on TV. He said all things, but I didn't have time to answer that. But I just want to ask him. He said you live in Omispo, Douala 5. You don't even know Douala. So how will you even know your representative to even talk about them when you don't even know where you are, where it is found? But I would not like us to go into those babbling, this, where you don't even know where you come from. I want to talk about your council. Now, Dr. Ako, Doctor, we are talking about functions of elected officials.
The regional assembly, the mayors, they are the one collaborating to ensure that roads are being constructed, pipe water. Governors have nothing to do with it. SU have nothing to do with it, even with budget. They are just eyes of the head of state, which I am happy that you know, that you were calling his title, Fund of Fund and the rest, which I felt so cold and excited when you realize who he is. And the President of the Republic has representative, the DOs and the SGO, and they are there just to supervise what this regional assembly they are doing and to give report. DOs don't construct roads, they don't construct pipe bomb water, they have nothing to do with electricity, but our elected officials. So the DOs have nothing to do there. We should not come here and blame DO. If your DO, if your mayor said that there is no money because the SDO, the governor are stopping him there, he's not honest. Because we know how mayors, they get their tax from the people and how they collect their revenue. So if that is actually what your mayor told you, then it was a senior fat lie. I am also comfortable with what Prince said, that when Senator Mundi was brought back, the regional house did not say anything. I'll even go further to tell you that even the CPDM, which Madam Mundi is a member of the Central Committee, did not give a communique. You are correct there. But do you know the effort they did behind for her to be liberated? Would you like they should make thousands of communique and they don't do anything behind? Or will you want them to keep the communique aside and investigate and ensure that she is freed? Those are the things we should be honest to tell our Cameroonian people. The regional houses have their functions, which is based on empowering the educational system, the judicial system, the health system, and the rest, which takes a period of time for it to be felt directly. So we should be honest to know all this and accompany this regional house so that they can work in collaboration with them, like I'm saying. Like me, I've said it and I'm still saying again. If their money, because I was told they have about 15% that is supposed to come for them, if it is not there, you people don't want to talk, tell me, I will say it. We need to say these things, let the people know. So that they should not come on this platform and embarrass you people that people are not working. If the problem is that you people lack the resources, they are not being given to you people, you come up and you say it. If the money is being given to you people, then let your communicators be able to tell the Cameroonian people what you people have done. It's not a communicator of the CPDM to come out and be saying what you people have done at the level of the regional assembly. You people need to be effective to communicate to the people so that they know what you have done, so that they should not come here and say they are not feeling anything. If somebody say you have not felt anything, I will not blame the person, because the communication at the level of your assemblies is not that strong and powerful so that the people can feel your presence. I've even gone at the level of Facebook or Google to click to even have some of these informations, but they are not there. So I will not blame my co-panelists, but I will say that your communicators are supposed to work at the level of Facebook, at the level of creating a website, so that the people know effectively what you people are doing, so that they will not say they are not feeling, and some will not even go to the extent to say you people don't even know your job. When I know you people don't know your job, you know the constitutions, that you people read that and can your position. But when they say you don't know your job, it's because they don't have the information, which I believe that if your communicators, they do the information, then there will be a progress and the people will feel your presence.
Okay, good evening, Mr. Liu. May I draw the attention of the panelists that regional councillors are the think tank of their councils with the duty of sourcing out the needs of their various communities divisions. They represent to the executive branch of the regional councils. It is the exclusive duty of the executive to carry out these expectations actions we are talking about. Unfortunately, the executives too are incapacitated because of limited financial means. It is Honorable Councilor Albert Mukage, writing from the Muyuka Council, okay? It's raising what we are talking about. We have limited means. It means that the resources are not there for them to deliver. Good evening. Your program is very educative. More grace. Say hi to Dr. Ako. Tafi Joseph is writing from Muyuka. Okay. Many Muyuka people are watching the program this evening. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please tell your panelists never to include religious matters in their talks. Okay, Collins is writing from Malangfe. Good evening to you all. I'm Dowski from Tico. Thank you, Dr. Ako and Mr. Prince. You both have spoken well. Good evening. They will only act if councillors who vote them have the interest of the masses at heart, which they don't have. Sule is writing from Moliko. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I like your program. Okay. Roland is writing from Tombel. This one says, if blood of Cameroonians continue to flow, then nothing will work in Cameroon. Please stop the war. From Pa Echo, writing from Pendamboko. Good evening to you all in the studio. I am grateful watching your program. It is very educative. God bless you all. Vitalis is writing from Ndu. Okay, Mr. Leo, good evening and thanks to all who what you are doing. Mr. Clement Su writing from Yaoundé. The regional council is a toothless bulldog that can bark but can't bite. Asong is writing from Boya. The regional assembly is a house of retired cronies. Garbage in, garbage out. What a shame. Mofo is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening, Mr. Leo. French is still the dominant language in the University of Bamenda. Let your panelists say the truth just on this, please. Roland is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, gentlemen on board. I love your program, and I want to say that what this government needs is serious shifting of the aged lads in power and give ways for us, the youths, to rule and lead in government. Massa, you done too much. Leonard Ipe writing from Kumba. Mr. Leo, the issue of regional houses and the rest don't and will never meet the aspirations of the Anglophones. Mr. Leo, what also block the other regional status in the other regions from working? Answer, either they don't know their functions or it's all fake. Dr. Ako, move on. Thanks. Afani is writing from Abamenda. We're going to be ending the program at this juncture, 1 minute each for all the panelists, starting with you. One last word to, yes, we don't have time for the second topic. I'm sure we're going to discuss the second topic next week. Yes.
Yes, I want to let my co-panelists know that.
Kedia is his name.
Yes, where I live is Douala 5.
Okay.
He is making a very big mistake. Where I live is Douala 5. Yes, Douala 5. Where I live in Douala 5. Don't expose your ignorance.
No,
please.
It's correct.
Leave it. I am telling you. Get from me. It is. Please, I'm the one talking. I've not come here to make noise. I've come to say to inform the people. Please.
Omispo, not Bepanda Omispo. There are how many Bepanda? Bepanda Wari, Bepanda Omispo is not there.
What he's saying is correct.
Okay,
it's just
go
that
on
we
now.
don't want to go there.
In fact, when we are not in the era of
the road in the middle divide the two. You don't know.
Please. But that's not even the essence of our discussions. Just go on.
We are not in an era of linguistic inflation here, where so many words will chase very few ideas. That is manifesting. I have said I am from Douala 5, Mpwen and Trey. Okay. Mr. Leo,
yes.
I will say that the regional councillors and the regional council should impact us by their deeds. That's where I will end.
Okay.
Because for now, we are not getting anything from them.
Good evening, Mr. Leo. Nice program. Kedia is not answering your questions, and you are not cutting him short. Why? Yes. You ask if he knows the regional councillor, and he didn't mention any.
He should even tell us
the Prince was
regional
the one
councillor.
not even Mr. Leo.
Please,
okay.
Sumbele.
He should tell us a councillor from his area. It's simple.
So you want to take the place of the journalist?
I'm not taking.
If I don't tell his name,
because you're holding things from space.
Gentlemen, it is.
Why is the problem? The program so problematic
I'm not understanding.
Today? Okay, Sumbele Kelvin, good evening to you. You are writing from Konsamba. Whenever I see them speak, I don't know. Success, writing from Kribi. Esther from Puma says, good evening, Mr. Leo, and to you all in the house. Mr. Leo, please stop your panelists from quarreling. They have been quarreling throughout today. Okay. Daisy is still writing from Kumba. Says, good evening, Mr. Liu, and to all the panelists. The house is indeed hot. Thank you, Mr. Liu, for making my evening. Good evening to you, Daisy. Okay, this guy says, Kedia, cha, you funny, you. God bless you all for that comedy. Hans writing there. Emil from Jotin says, Mr. Leo, good evening, and to the panelists. This house is hot. Great, Mr. Kedia, for always thanking the head of state. Okay, yes, one last word from you.
Mr. Leo, there is one aspect. I think that the regional councils have been set already. Everything we're saying is, if at all their impact were felt, or not have been hammering on what we're hammering, the first thing I think is let the people, when I talk of the people, I mean a division, a subdivision should know who is their representative at the level of the region. That is where the first thing should begin. Because as I speak to you, many persons don't know who their regional councillors are. So that is the first point. The second point, Mr. Liu, is it's high time we start applying the Constitution. Because when you say that the regional president is the CEO of the region, a CEO means Chief Executive Officer. An executive officer of any enterprise is the owner, is the boss. He only has some other persons with whom he works. But now if we have the regional president who is a chief executive officer, not known, not visibly known, then there is a problem somewhere. Okay. So it is time we start applying that, okay, since this is your position, this is what you are supposed to do. And that is why I'm coming back to what I had said of not knowing. But they know. Let them start applying. Okay. Once they start applying, we'll not have had any problems with the regional councils because committees have been created, education, finance, and this is, let the impact of the regional councils be felt. Okay. Evening to you guys in the studio. I'm Nelson, based in Bamesing. Mr. Liu, I feel worried and disappointed with our youth. Most of our leaders do not know their functions. Talk less of the youth who are to benefit from their functions. Sir, I wish you take a day, bring experts to educate us, the youth, start from the function of a DO through the SDO to the governor. Okay, I think Nelson is writing from Bamesing. Yes, he says the need. I think it's also very important that it's all about this communication because we have ministries of territorial administration and that of decentralization. Well, several we even suppose, yes. I'm sure from what you said, that we're supposed to look at that. Yes. Because at times the conflicts at the level of ministries, yes. Who does what even as a minister is a problem in Cameroon. A lot of cacophony. Please, severally have made efforts to get the Ministry of Decentralization help to educate Cameroonians, especially on this issue of the regional councils, what they're supposed to do. Because without communication, you leave people in the dark and they're left with no other option than to speculate on what is or is not. Yes. Your last words, please.
Yeah, you realize that today you were trying to talk about autonomy. How autonomous are the councils. What powers, yes. What how do they enjoy, yes. And Kedia is talking about communication. I don't know if from communication they will have the autonomy. And I'm still insisting, to me, communication is always secondary. Let us get into the actions. The regional executive should carry out their duty. Secondly, very strongly, we should accept the law as it is. Let's remove those executives that were appointed so that we can see from the mirror clearly the offices of the regional offices elected. The elected officials should execute their task. So that we should know strictly that the autonomy now belongs to them. Because they are talking of financial. Financial autonomy is one. Political autonomy is another. Economic autonomy is another. So we should not look as if the whole region is embedded into political power. We need to give them this autonomy for them to exercise the mandate which the citizens have given to them. But how do you think we should know? But it is funny. We know the governors, but we don't know the regional presidents. Can't we just get it that one person covers the other? For us to get them well, we need to strip off the others. And
the law should be honest, and that decentralization is what they want to give to us. We have accepted with it, and let's apply it immensely. Yaoundé should stop getting us believe that there is an institution, and the institution become a propaganda state house, where we should know that yes, they exist, because that is what they will tell you here. Kedia will name a lot, that they have done a lot. And when they say they have done a lot, it's by naming institution. They have created this, they have created this, created that, created that. How has that solved the Cameroonian problems? If you create all those institutions, and the Cameroonian problems remain, then that is just a poor antibiotic to the diseases and ills disturbing the nation. Okay, we should answer Cameroonian worries by actions rather than public or political propaganda.
Okay, Kedia, please, very brief. One.
Yes, as Mr. Dr. Ako said, that they should respect the institution, and by respecting the institution is by respecting the Constitution of 1996, which talk about effective decentralization, which stipulated that all these institutions are supposed to be put in place, and they have been put in place, thereby respecting the law and the Constitution as he's asking. But I will still give this message again to the members of the regional house. Your effort and your work you are doing, you are supposed to have good communicator to let the people know what you've done. If you cannot communicate, then you are failing. I will not accept with Mr. Leo that it's somebody from the Ministry of Decentralization that is supposed to come and talk for the good work or the bad work you people are doing. You should be able to communicate for yourself. Let the people know what you are doing. Mr. Leo, can you permit me to greet Mr. Nelson in the dialect?
Go on.
Nelson, baby, not chill. Lebi not no mumbo to try couldn't go no bu amba but I lewi being in your kitchen. Be we were for no government like a development
Okay. Actually, you did not get my point where you see you will not agree with me. I did not say that the ministries should talk on the works of the regional council. I say the ministries should help educate people to understand what the law says, how they should function. And the Nelson himself says that he needs to understand the role of the divisional officers and the SDOs and the governor, which is just normal. Why can the ministries not educate people? Because all of us are saying we don't know what the governor should be, why this and that. What is difficult in educating and informing the people on what they should expect from the city mayor for the case of
the governor?
No, let's take the case of
representatives of the head of state, and they are the highest.
Even
all civil servants are under them.
Yes, let's take the case of Douala. What is the role of the governor in Douala? What's the role of the city mayor in Douala? What's the role of the regional president in Douala? What's the role of the senior divisional officer in Douala? What is the role of the respective divisional officers? Yes, why not? And the mayors?
Yes.
Why not just tell people so that people know that, yes, okay, if I need this, I expect it from this quarter, so that there's not this cacophony where you expect everything from everybody.
Yes. The mayor calls a meeting. Yeah. He comes to wait for the SDO, who is a chef there, to arrive before the meeting can start.
Yeah. No, the SDO is the supervisory authority of...
No, in a subdivision, Mr. Liu. We're talking about the SDO is a division.
No, please. The SDO is the supervisory authority of all the councils. The DO is is the SDO.
At the level of a subdivision, when you call a meeting, you need to wait for the DO to come before the meeting can start.
He represents the head of state.
Please, we want to thank you all for coming, guys, and also want to thank you all who took time off to watch this edition of the program. It is Friday, they call it Vendredi soir. If you are going out to enjoy yourself, do it responsibly and not to stupor. We want to say thank you to you, Desmond and Eli, for producing this program the whole of this week. And once more, we say congratulations to you, Professor Kingsley Ngange, for your brilliant appointment and eventual installation that took place yesterday at the University of Boya as Deputy Vice Chancellor in charge of research and business. Now, we are going to be wishing all of you a wonderful, wonderful weekend, and a special one to Barrister Achu Julius, who is going to be installed tomorrow out there in Bonaberry, we are going to be with him to celebrate with him. We want to thank you. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.